think Snoop Dogg is a rat?
What you mean by that?
Look
Where
at
you
this
going
camera.
with that?
Cause Snoop Dogg got to order protection on Suge Knight. And Suge Knight calls my phone every other week.
What you mean he got to order protection?
He got to order protection on Suge Knight in the 90s. The whole West Coast know about it. They not letting Suge Knight out of jail because Snoop Dogg keep calling. When I first got out of jail, I was on house arrest, right? A lot of niggas was talking shit. Snoop Dogg was one of them. When I went on Instagram and I was trolling Snoop Dogg and I posted the Suge Knight. Remember you posted and Suge Knight said, Snoop's a snitch. Why you think Snoop Dogg never went to jail? And I posted that. Snoop Dogg then wrote a letter to my judge and said this. He said, I don't know if Mr. Hernandez's conditions, everybody was saying when Danny got out, one of his conditions of probation of early release, he can't troll or he can't antagonize rappers.
Were you ever afraid of being on death row sometimes?
Never. I was afraid when I wasn't on death row.
Right. Explain.
Because it was death threats, it was like shit where they was coming to get at me. It was like, it was animosity, they was bitter. You lose your biggest star, Dr. Dre, and then you lose your second biggest star, Tupac, and then you lose your biggest star that's actually there with you that helped officially create this shit, Snoop Dogg.
Were you scared for your life, dog?
Definitely.
How do you feel about 6ix9ine calling Snoop Dogg a snitch?
He did snitch. We put up paperwork and showing it. So he did snitch or try to snitch. He was just throwing stuff out there to be messy. He can't snitch because, well, I guess he can snitch. He told what happened and he ran to the police, but hey, that's what he did at the time. I mean, you can't compare to what Snoop did, what 6ix9ine did to Snoop. It's a big difference because, you know, he didn't get on a stand or anything. But
so go into detail about that. What did Snoop snitch on?
Snoop, okay. Master P invited us to his show. So I took about 5 to 6 of the homies up there and we wanted to go talk to Snoop. Master P and I had a great relationship because we had just finalized the deal assigning the rights to Snoop to No Limit and Priority Records. So we had been talking and all of that. They were doing a big show at the Universal Amp in LA. And so he invited me to the show, took us backstage, and told Master P we want to go holler at Snoop. We had some business to work out. Master P said, hey, go handle your business.
I got the Hookup Comedy Jam in LA. Shit got real.
Ain't paying attention, so the soldiers didn't went on stage. Now I'm back here talking to these death row niggas by myself. You owe Suge apology. I'm like, fuck Suge, nigga. They try to take off on him. Whoop, he missed. I get out of there.
I'm up on the side stage and Snoop just comes flying by him.
Master P and them get to word while they on stage.
I could see somebody, you know, and they're telling everybody to come.
They literally ran off the stage in the middle of the performance. You know, all you see the red shirts coming, like, shit. All you see the camera fires too.
But I run right into the law. With weed in my pocket and everything, because I'm trying to save my life. I know Lemon soldiers was ready. I was in the back of the police car like this. I seen about 9 niggas walk out like this. Master P and them was going crazy. What's happening? What's up? Because they just heard that the niggas just jumped Snoop. They didn't jump me. They didn't get none. Been doing this shit for years, nigga. They take me and my cousin Daz to jail.
Was you around Snoop when he went to No Limit?
I was there. Most definitely. I was there the whole step. Going to No Limit, going down to Houston. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Master P, you know what I'm saying? And everybody from No Limit. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I built my relationship with him to this day, you know? And we just had a great time, you know what I'm saying? We went to a concert and Master P was like, everybody get a gun, right? I was talking about I got an arsenal. I got on some sweats from motherfucking Walmart. You know, them sweats they get for $6, and I'm trying to put 2 Uzis in my motherfucking. And I'm like, this shit ain't gonna work. Give me a handgun. You know what I'm saying? So, and we riding in the car like this with 12 gauges of Uzi. I'm like, man, if this motherfucker tip over, we all dead. But we had a ball, and then they had a concert at the Houston thing, and that's what Master P. That's the newest No Limit song, just no doubt. And it was going crazy. I'm talking, it was packed in that motherfucker, man. It was just some shit that you just had to see. And then, you know, and that's when Reggie Wright and them started plotting, and we had a little fight at the Universal Amphitheatre. When Death Row came in the door, I was in there with the dog, and they was talking in there, Snoop was like, Suge Knight and all that shit. And then I think Trayvon tried to swing on him, and we was in there just swinging, and Snoop took off. And I took off after him like, I see y'all niggas tomorrow, because I was still on death row while they was coming at Snoop. And they used to say, we going to get Snoop tonight? And I'd be like, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my cousin. We wasn't even feuding at this time. We was like this, but I was still on death row. He was on no limit. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we went to jail. We was running and opened the door and the police was there. We had like 2 ounces of weed. And we went to jail. And when we got booked in the station and we looked up, guess who was in jail? Fucking Ray J. Tell me, what's up, cousin?
If you get a guy that constantly getting in trouble and never gonna come to prison, that's because he's an informant. He's a rat, a snitch.
He said Snoop Dogg, right? He said someone on my label, someone on death row, right? He's not lying. He said the street guys will know about this, but the public is not gonna understand it. He said street guys will know. You beat a murder charge, you on probation. After probation, while you're on probation, you get caught with 2 ounces, you get caught with some firearms, right? Why haven't you gone to jail? You caught different offenses after that, but you're never gonna serve no jail time because you're an informant.
I run right into the law, the weed in my pocket and everything, because I'm trying to save my life.
Cause Snoop Dogg got an order of protection on Suge Knight. Snoop Dogg's paperwork, right here. Snoop Dogg's paperwork for everyone to see. Everybody to see. Snoop Dogg's paperwork.
If you get a guy that constantly getting in trouble and never gonna come to prison, that's because he's an informant. He's a rat, a snitch. Yeah. You know, and they're more important to the police on the streets than in here, because they let them know what's going on. They might save their soul by telling them 3 or 4 or 5 other guys do those type of crimes. They're not gonna come to prison. One of the reasons they're not gonna come to prison. Well, Snoop will never come.
But here's the police report. Y'all study this police report real well from the LA Sheriff County Police Department. It's all Daz ran, holler, they got gun, they got a gun. And they said that they ran to the area in the police report.
Mr. Brodus was extremely cooperative during the incident and in fact said that he was thankful that the deputies had been there, as he felt that the assault was intended as an act of intimidation. Mr. Brodus also said that he felt Mr. Arnaud was in danger as he's still under contract to Death Row Records. During the discussion, I said that I knew Tupac Shakur. Mr. Brodus responded by saying that is the man sitting next to Tupac. I asked if he meant Suge Knight. He replied affirmatively. Mr. Brodus also said that he was upset that his bodyguards disappeared and did not assist him.
That's because he's an informant. He's a rat, a snitch.
When you walk that gangster walk, you got to walk it all the way out. All the way out. Don't come half-stepping and start pointing fingers once you get in there. Well, he did this and I didn't know. Ride it out. Ride it all the way out. That's what I respect about Suge. He ain't pointing no fingers. He keeping it G.
We was running and opened the door and the police was there. We had like 2 ounces of weed.
When he took Snoop on, you know, and was willing to, let me rephrase that. When he signed Snoop and took Suge on, you know, that got dangerous for all of us. It was a crazy time, man. You know, we weren't allowed to leave the office without an armed LAPD escort. Like there were high risk employees.
Oh wow!
A priority beside the bulletproof entrance and all that. They had LAPD in the office on the 10th floor in a secret office. They would monitor what was going on because of all the drama.
Where was the threat coming from? Because I seen where Reggie Wright Jr. he said that, you know, Snoop going over to No Limit, he kind of helped facilitate that, but he said that it was cool.
No,
really,
no, it wasn't cool. There were many incidents. I'm sure you've heard about the one in Hawaii.
Yeah.
With Death Row in First Class with Snoop. There was one, I don't know if you ever heard about the No Limit Comedy Jam.
So it wasn't like it was Suge and P, the higher ups, having issues. It was the mans and them, the hanger-ons of Death Row. Trayvon that took off on Snoop. They said that Snoop was dissing. He was kind of throwing little shots at Death Row.
No, they went for him, especially at the Comedy Jam. Like I saw it myself, you know, and Suge was away, calling shots.
Right.
I don't know the story and the gentleman you're speaking on.
I believe Reggie Wright Jr. was running. I believe that he was running Death Row while Suge was away.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he said that it was him in Priority that worked it out with P, you know, while Suge was away.
And I'm just going off what I just saw myself.
Were you ever afraid of being on death row sometimes?
Never. I was afraid when I wasn't on death row.
Right.
Snoop, you said I'm mad because
You bought Death Row? Show me the paperwork. Show me what you own. Now, you were representing Death Row when you was on Death Row. I gave you your label. You had Doggy Style. And I gave you the money to start that label. Remember? You had an artist named Trade E. Trade E, you put out. You never paid him. He shoots your house up. You take the video, take it to the DA. The DA looks at the video, arrest Trade E. Arrest Trade E, who's on Doggy Style, and they tell him, either you're going to get life or you can take a deal for 10 years. Trade E went and took the deal for 10 years. You was running Def Jam. Did you do anything good for Def Jam? Absolutely not.
Knight, the nigga who's hung a nigga off a balcony, was like, yo, Snoop Dogg told him. Snoop Dogg told. He write letters to the warden. I was on the phone with Suge Knight. But because Snoop Dogg is, you know, he's liked and he's like the uncle to the rap, like he's Unc, right? That old bitch, right? Like, he's perfect. You know what I mean? It's like let's ignore that he told, cause he's our Unc. We don't want to lose our Unc.
Snoop Dogg now addressing Tekashi 6ix9ine's claims that he's a snitch, but he's not actually talking about the important issue at hand, which is kind of funny to me. Let's check this out. So Snoop had put this up on his Instagram. I got time. The tale of a rat coming soon from Bitch 9. I mean Snitch 9. I mean fuck it from Cuz Blood. So 6ix9ine reacts. He said this is only funny to the old heads, everybody over 50. Still hasn't denied the paperwork. Leave me alone. You're blowing my cover. So Snoop Dogg actually responds. He said, dudes know I ain't have nothing to do with Suge Knight getting time. We had the same lawyers. This rat reaching, calling me a snitch. And FYI, he most likely drew up the papers. He do work with the police. Suge and me on great terms now. So if I told on him, we would never be cool, and that's a fact. Clown, now carry on and stay tuned for the Tattletales movie and on record, little bitch. At 6ix9ine, I got time. So Snoop Dogg saying he never snitched on Suge Knight and got him locked up. The problem with this is that's not what we're talking about. The Snoop Dogg paperwork is actually in reference to an incident where Snoop Dogg and Daz had a run-in with some other people. Allegedly, Snoop and Daz ran right into the police, at which point they told the police what was happening and ended up being searched and arrested for possession of marijuana. Now, that's what the alleged paperwork states. So so Snoop Dogg talking about Suge Knight really isn't fitting for the situation. It looks like he's kind of trying to divert away from the true issue at hand.
I run right into the law. The weed in my pocket and everything, because I'm trying to save my life, trying to save my life. I
can't hit the video without a breakdown. I actually went and did some research and found out there's really paperwork on Snoop. It's not new paperwork, but it's something that quietly faded away over the years. I believe the top half of the paperwork is what most people seen or remembered, but the bottom half is where things get sketchy. I'ma be honest, I'm not sure about the order of protection, but how Snoop was running backstage from the Death Row guys and saying he was scared more when he was off Death Row than when he was on Death Row makes me believe the order of protection doesn't sound too far-fetched. Well, let's break down this paperwork. Let's look at the facts. This is an official internal Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department memo dated May 14th, 1998. It details a massive incident backstage at the Universal Amphitheatre. Snoop, Dash, and Superfly were chilling backstage when 4 to 5 deep from Death Row Records stepped to them. One of them immediately blindsided Snoop right in the face. Now, look at what the top half says. Instead of a major escalation, Snoop and Dash run straight out of the backstage area to find the uniformed deputies working security. Dash yells out he's got a weapon to get the cops' attention. The plot twists. The deputies pat all of them down, don't find a weapon, but find a baggie of personal contraband on both Snoop and Dash, detaining them on on the spot. That's the part the internet always posts to call them informants. But like we said, it gets way sketchier when you scroll down. This is where the bottom half changes the entire narrative. The memo goes on to say that a literal situation almost started. 60 hostile males flooded out of the backstage area, requiring a massive force of 20 deputies and over 40 armed security guards just to restore order. When the lieutenant sits down with Snoop afterward, the paperwork states Snoop was extremely cooperative. He explicitly told law enforcement he was in grave danger because he left Death Row to sign with Master P and No Limit. He even complained that his own bodyguards vanished when the incident happened. Briefly look at the absolute bombshell at the bottom. The lieutenant writes that he told Snoop he knew who was behind what happened to Pac. The paperwork states, and I quote, Mr. Brodus responded by saying that it was the man sitting next to Pac. I asked if he meant. He replied affirmatively, sitting with law enforcement and confirming on the record that Knight was behind the most famous unsolved tragedy in hip-hop history. That is exactly why this document is so radioactive in the streets. Whether you look at it as an order of protection or real-time cooperation to survive a dangerous corporate war, the paperwork is real, and that's the official breakdown. Thanks for staying tuned in with the channel. Huge shout out to all the subscribers holding down the network. I really appreciate it. Seriously, this is not just my platform. This is our platform. Let's take it to the top. Make sure you hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.